Good evening. My name is Carrie Handley. I'm with the Silver Lining Foundation, and I'd like to welcome our guest, Jen Lee. She is the president of the Chicago chapter of the Jaycees. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Well, we're very happy to have you. Jen, just to start, why don't you tell me and everybody else, what are the Jaycees? What do they do?
Absolutely. The Jaycees are officially the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and we are an international organization. We're actually a leadership training organization, and we do leadership training through community service. So we actually have 4 different functional groups that we focus on, and we are membership based, so that's one of our functional areas. We do individual development, which can include professional networking, personal development, things like self-defense classes or cooking classes, or just like speed networking, how to network effectively, these types of things for individual development. We also do fundraising through Ways and Means, and we do that for ourselves as well as other charities and to fund the community development initiatives that we do. And then the 4th functional group is community development. So,
wow, that's a lot. How does someone become involved? I mean, you say it's membership based. Do you have to apply, or how do you become
There's
involved?
an application, but it's not, you're not going to get denied. Our membership is open to anyone who is willing to get involved and wants to help out the community as well as better themselves. The membership fee is $65 annually, which is really pretty minimal. And we have a lot of great people. I personally moved to Chicago 2 years ago, and this is what I did as soon as I walked in the door, and I joined it so that I could meet friends. And it's everyone's young professional, very dedicated to the community, and really good group of people.
That's a great idea. I didn't even think about it in terms of, you know, getting your bearings in a new city, but I think that sounds like I moved here 5 years ago, and it took me a while. So, so you decided to get involved in the Jaycees. Were you a Jaycee where you lived before, or how?
I wasn't, but there was a chapter. I lived in Des Moines, and there was a chapter in Des Moines, Iowa. There are chapters internationally. Actually, in the state of Illinois, there are 90 chapters currently and 3,000 members. So basically, if you're not in the Chicago city proper, you can definitely find there are chapters in Lombard, Woodridge, Brookfield, Frankfort area, Schaumburg, all over the state of Illinois. So it's a great tool. And we also do like different networking things with other chapters. So we're kind of like, you're on a chapter level, and then you're on a region level. So Chicago is in the Northeast region, and then there's the state level, which is Illinois, and then of course the United States chapter specifically. So
I know, and the way that I know Jen is because you always help us with our big fundraiser gala in October, and the Jaycees are always so professional and just really wonderful, and they are reliable.
Thank you.
They show up when they say they're going to and whatnot. So one of the things I know is that we do have one contact who sort of has, I don't know, is it a chapter at a specific company?
yes.
Okay, so it's not just like a municipal thing, it can be company
Correct.
based.
Actually, Chicago is unique in that. Chicago is one of either 1 or 2 chapters, just a handful of chapters in the whole United States that has corporate sponsors. So we have 3 corporate sponsors currently: Northern Trust, the American Medical Association, and Northern Trust. So, excuse me, I said Northern Trust. People's Gas.
Okay.
So within these corporate groups, there is basically a leader, and there's also there's like a little, kind of like a little sub-chapter within the corporate group, but you don't have to be a part of a corporate group to become involved. We have our largest group is the independent members who don't work for a corporate chapter.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
yes.
Is there anything specific, I guess, that is expected of you? Do you have to sort of pledge to raise money or volunteer a certain amount of hours?
No, there's not anything that we ask members to do specifically, but we do, basically it's the more you give to the chapter, the more you'll receive. The more that you put into any type of organization, as long as you're passionate about it and you really believe in what you're doing, you're going to get the most out of it. So definitely I see most of the growth with our members who are more active, who really help us with our fundraising efforts. I mean, we don't ask a lot of money from our members specifically, and the ones who go out to the community development things and really take advantage of the training courses that the region and the state have to offer.
Okay. Well, that's great. I think that's true with anything.
Yeah.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Absolutely.
So, that's excellent. Can you give us a little bit of the history of the Jaycees?
Absolutely. The Jaycees started in 1920 in St. Louis, and it was originally an all-men's, and they called it like a dance club is what it originally was, and within a couple years they actually changed it to be the Junior Chamber of Commerce. We're not affiliated with the Chamber of Commerce, but we kind of are their little sister in a way, and it was an all-men's group for many years. The Chicago chapter actually was one of the first 7 chapters in the United States, and we were formed in 1921, so we have a very long history.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And it's always been for basically providing leadership skills in young professionals. So I know I run into a lot of people who are like, oh, I thought the Jaycees, they were older. And I'm like, I think you're mixing us up with like other groups that do community service as well. But the Jaycees is really a very young organization. The majority of our members are between the ages of 21 and 39.
Oh, wow.
So
it is young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just a reminder that this is a call-in show, so feel free to call in if you have a question, and if you're shy, you don't have to be on the air. We can write it down and address your question. Here's the number. Actually, this is the number for a Silver Lining Foundation. If you have any questions about anything we're talking about here, how to get in touch with the Jaycees, please feel free to call us. Again, please feel free to call in. It is 312-738-1060. So I guess you're the president of the chapter. After 2 years, how did you accomplish that?
That's a great question. I moved to Chicago in 2006 in August, and I didn't know anyone here. I moved here for my job, and it had actually always been a dream of mine to live in the city. So this was on my list of things to do, like years before I moved here. I was like, you know what, Jaycees looks like a great group of people. That's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
So I joined as soon as I walked in the door. They nominated me to be like the director of membership my first year.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like very flattered and excited because membership means I'm meeting a lot of people. So I did that the first year, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I was very passionate about the organization and wanting to see it continue and succeed and grow, and we've made a lot of progress this year. We've done a lot of great things. We have just to kind of go off on what we do a little bit, we have a